what was wild too is so often we're taught like health is this obligation. It became this joyful privilege. It's like, oh my God, I get to move my body in the sun. I get to see how strong I could be. I get to feel how resilient my body can be if I nurture it in the right way.
What if taking care of your body stopped feeling like something you had to do and started feeling like something you actually wanted to do? Today on the podcast, we have Nat the SunWhore, who is a circadian health coach and founder of SunWhore and this first circadian health supplement, Sun Scoops. And in this conversation, we dive deep into all things circadian health, sunlight as medicine, intuition, and what it actually looks like to come back home to your body. I just came back from a weekend out in nature and being able to really settle into the mornings and the evenings with the sun. And I can tell you already that there is so much more creative energy running through my body after a weekend away from technology and really focusing on my natural rhythms. In this conversation, I will say Nat is one of the most wonderful human beings to exist in the world. She is hilarious and she has so much knowledge on circadian health. By the end of this episode, we really get into the philosophy of who she is and why she does these things. And it honestly brought me to tears because all she is doing in this world is literally bringing you back to you through understanding your natural rhythms of your own body. I'm Sasha Pearl, the energy architect, your host, and I guide soul led women in building authentic six-figure businesses by aligning their identity, content, and brand. So let's get into it. We are so happy to have you here.
My God, I am Nat Collier, but on Instagram, I'm Nat the Sun Whore, and I'm a circadian health coach. And I have a special circadian health supplement that I made after a potion that I created when I was healing
It's
from.
delicious.
Yeah, thank you so much, girl. I was healing from Hashimoto's. I had gained 65 pounds. I had a deep season of grief and just created this. And I was like, why am I not sharing this with the whole earth? So, yeah.
So what I love about Nat is we actually met at one of my local communities called Wild, Low, and Wealthy, and she immediately was like, I need you. And I'm like, what do you need from me? And you're like, I don't know. I just need you. So this Nat is like this the purest light in the world and holds such a beautiful energy. She really preaches what she does in the world. So I would love to hear more about I had no idea about circadian health until you came into my life. So why should anyone care about what circadian health is and how it can actually support them in their life?
My God, this is my dream question. And I think when I met you that I just like wanted to squeeze you right away. It was just like squeezing your body. Like I just like your vibe and you weren't weird about it. And I was like, okay,
So
she's
I'm
my
like,
friend.
closer. Yes.
I love that. Okay, so I have been on the organic health train for over 20 years. I'm a mom of four. So I've lived that lifestyle for a long time. And I found myself around 2021. I was taking care of my mom. I got super sick. I already had Hashimoto's, but it was like my antibodies were in the tens of thousands of percent at the worst. I had a bald spot on my head. I was like so much brain fog. And I was eating organic and homesteading and doing these things that I thought would make me well. And I was just getting sicker. And I found this tiny little book from a friend of mine on Instagram, Fillmore Getter, and it was called Heal Yourself with Sunlight. And she was just like raving about this book. And it's a little self published, full of all the, mess ups. And I'm like, okay, I love this kind of book with a chancy cover. And the concept is that almost every cell in your body has a light receptor. And you need to know what time of day it is. Your cells need to know what time of day it is in order to get the proper light so you can produce the right hormones. So your metabolism works well. And so all the organs in your body function at an optimal level. So I was desperate, and the premise was just line your circadian rhythm. So when you rise with the sun, you get midday sun, you get evening sun, limit blue light after night. And then there's like a seasonal eating piece and other things, but I just started with, I'm just going to get up with the sunrise. And so I would go stand out there on my homestead overlooking the Appalachian foothills, hearing the rooster. It was a vibe. And I just would stare towards the sun. And I was desperate and like really, truly at a place where I felt like I don't even know what my body needs anymore. And very quickly, my energy started to lift. And I was like, okay, there's something to this. It didn't feel like placebo. It was like a palpable shift where I wasn't that tired around 3 p.m. like I normally was. I stopped craving sugar like I normally did. And all of a sudden, like my thyroid antibodies started coming down, my weight started coming down, my hair was growing back. And I was like, oh my God, there's so much to this. And I mean, I went on a really deep dive after that, but it's basically that we just live in constant dissonance in modern society from the circadian rhythm cycles. And there are times where your body is supposed to be resting and repairing. There are times where you're supposed to be producing and blossoming. And we've just run from that. And the further I got into it, I realized it was not only helping my physical health, but this intuitive piece that I feel like in modern society we're divorced from, that it was like birthing that in me, where all of a sudden I was like, oh my God, I know what I need. Like, I need more of this, I need less of this. And it was this beautiful relationship that was centered around sunshine with myself. And at the time, I was a life coach and I was starting to work with clients a little bit on circadian health. And I would lay, I'm just going to say it, I would lay ass naked, as we call it in the South, ass naked before God and everybody in the sun. And so friends or clients would text me and they were like, what are you up to? And I was like, I'm being a sun whore. And then seeing these little, suburban moms like texting me like, being a sun whore, I was like, okay, this is like a message. And so when I wanted to create this brand around awakening and intuition and circadian health and light and nature, all my friends are like, girl, you got to call it sun whore. And
Absolutely, 100%.
and so we went all one word, sun whore. And so far it's been a delight.
So at the first event, I was like, "Yeah, do you know Nat the whore?" And you're like, "No, that's so wrong." I was like,
Loved it.
"What? What's wrong with that?"
I
Like, it just
loved it. Not the whore. She's great. She's a great person. Great person.
Oh, okay. That was really bad. Sorry about that. So would for someone who is just getting into circadian health, what are the first few things that you suggest for them to try on? Not in a way where it's like you have to completely change your life and do 20 different things, but what's like that 1 to 2 things that they can do every day that's actually so simple?
There are two that are the most simple, and both of them are free. And it would just be rise with the sun, because that morning light is infrared light. And that tells your body we need to raise cortisol in a good way. We need to lower melatonin. We need to up progesterone. Like all of these hormones that happen throughout the day, your melatonin for the following night it begins to be produced in the morning. So
Oh.
when you get that light, your eyes are connected to your brain through your optic nerve, and that is information. And something I had never heard in all the organic circles is the idea that, like, food, light, these things are signals. So when you give your body the right light, you are actually telling it a signal of safety and telling it, like, we need to do this. There are different organs in your body that detox at different times. When they're in artificial light, they don't know it's their turn. Like all these huge things that I just never knew that most people never know. So I say start with morning light and then limit blue light after dark. Like blue light after dark, that is confusing the signal. Your body goes, "Oh, it's noon. There's full blue light. We should be raising cortisol again. We should lower melatonin. We should do things instead of increasing melatonin, lowering cortisol, getting ready to sleep." So those two, you will have a difference in energy within a week to 2 weeks.
Wow, it's almost like when you're talking about that, it almost felt like when we're bringing in blue light in the evening, it's like this like scatter effect of like a puzzle that has just been like thrown on the floor and you're trying to find all
Yes.
the pieces. So your body's
Yes.
constant chaos. Okay.
Yes.
And so when we are actually in using the sun as actually our natural rhythm, that is where we're building the puzzle back to where our like optimal body and like hormones and everything live.
Yes, and your nervous system. Like, people don't realize the dysregulated signal of light, that actually makes your nervous system have a stress feeling. It doesn't know that you're not being attacked or something's just like, it doesn't know you're just sitting in front of the TV. It's like, "Oh shit, how's it noon again? I thought we were going into like a heal, rest, repair, detox, but apparently it's noon again." Like, this is how our cells work. And even down to like the light actually charges it's called the fourth phase of water in your body. So every cell and every function of your body will be charged so that it can go to the proper places. So imagine like your phone being on low power mode,
Yeah.
how slow and sluggish when we are our light is interrupted, that's what's happening in our cells. So our cells are like, "Wait, wait, how are we doing that?" And then if you're in the right light, your cells are like, "We got this. Like, we're headed there. Thyroid hormone, it's on it. Metabolism, we got this."
That's incredible. So if
Yeah.
you said you started to see a difference in a week and a half, 2 weeks?
Oh, yeah. It was remarkable. It was, like, mostly tired all day to, "Holy shit, I feel my joy again," to 3 PM, I'm not craving sugar, and that happened very quickly.
That's it just, like, comes back to the idea of, like, how resilient our bodies truly are. So I
Right.
wanna bring it back into what I love talking about a lot is intuition, and I'm really curious too around how when you were in complete dissonance from your body, you're in a complete disarray of, like, just in your life, how were you able to really even hear the whispers of, "I need to listen to this book, I need to follow this," bringing sunlight into my mornings and seeing what happens, like, how did you get there to choose you in the moments of, like, such heaviness?
Yeah. I think that sweet place of true resonance that lives in every person where, like, when you feel it, there's no way you can mistake it for anything other than, like, "Oh, this is intuitive knowing." That when I heard that, I thought, "Man, I know that I'm, like, eating off the land, and I'm, like, we live a very non-toxic life. We all these other things that I know are healthy are there, and I love sunlight, and I love how I feel in the summer. I love how I feel with a tan." And so it just made sense. I'm just gonna try this. Like, it's free, I'm just gonna try it, and it rang so true in my heart the way that I was feeling so quickly. It was like, "Oh," and it makes sense why so many of us get in these, like, depressive chronic states because the signal is confused. And so we're, like, lowering our vitality and our life force over long, long periods of time, and we wonder why we feel like shit for so long. Like, it's this perpetual cycle that we most Americans are in every day. Every single day. They don't see the sunrise and they watch blue light after dark and they're like, "Well, I'm a night person." You're a night person because your hormones are jacked up. I was as well. I was as well. I'm just gonna say, it ain't natural.
Well, and we think, like, I mean, we society believes that is the normal too, which is
Yes.
what's so fascinating. But from your story, you actually already had clues of what it's like to actually live off the land and be in the rhythm of the seasonality of the land too.
Right.
So I love that nature truly was like the mirror for this
Yeah.
new enlightenment,
Yeah.
literally.
Yeah. Enlightenment. Mhm.
Enlightenment. I am the sun. I am the
That was
sun.
perfect.
Yeah. So Nat is a 4-1 generator with emotional authority. And I think I asked you, so when generators are in their signature state, they're in deep satisfaction of life.
Yeah.
And when they are not, and they're not self and conditioned, watching blue light after dark, they're going to be, not feeling as great. So they're going to be in their frustration. So I feel like I asked you at coffee for one of our first dates. I was like, what does it feel like for you when you are in deep satisfaction?
God, it feels so good. People a lot of times that meet me, I think they think it's that my energy is like, surely she's not like that. And I really am like that, like 93% of the time, except maybe in like deep menstrual cycle moment. Like I wake up so jazzed most days. I cannot wait to be outside. It became what was wild too is so often we're taught like health is this obligation. It became this joyful privilege. It's like, oh my God, I get to move my body in the sun. I get to see how strong I could be. I get to feel how resilient my body can be if I nurture it in the right way. And it became just this lovely, it was so not an obligation. And I realized too with clients, like you have to link that pleasure piece. If you don't have if it's obligation, you're not going to stick with anything. Like so much of what we do is out of obligation. And when you start to feel that flow of what real energy feels like coming from the sun, nothing can touch it. Like you begin to be like, oh shit, that was an illusion. That other thing I was doing, like this feels so true and resonates so deeply.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, and I think that you even said you're like, "My literal gut feels like the sun,"
Yeah.
is what
Yeah.
you said,
Oh
actually,
yeah.
and I was like, "That couldn't be so true to
Yeah.
your human design.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So I would also love to hear more about like this body, like what came online for you the more that you healed your body through sun health, circadian health.
I started to realize how much of my own thoughts on health, self worth, self love had been programmed.
Oh,
And do what?
let's talk about that programming.
Oh, the programming. I feel like if you look at a lot of the wellness culture, it's kind of gotten toxic with it's always telling you you still need the new natural thing. You still need the new $2,000 cleanse. You need this. Wait, what about the peptides, GLP-1? Let's do all of it. And realizing that is the other side of the coin of just like the normal sleepy capitalistic, everyone's sick and just goes to the doctor. And so when I started to see like I have been striving for something that is actually not congruent with human biology. Oh, if I've been living that way, that has dulled my intuition. So therefore I'm easy to be controlled and programmed and I'm told I need all this shit. And so when you start to live the other way, you feel this radical self sovereignty where you're like, oh shit, no, I know what I need. Now I can tell, like, even as the seasons just recently have changed, I'm switching from more fats to less fat and more fruit because it's also seasonal eating. And it was like my body, all of a sudden, I was sick of a breakfast I've been having for almost a year. And it was like I had been on the train with bacon and mozzarella, and then the sun was more and the UV rose, and I was like, I'm so done with this.
God, yum though.
Yeah, it was so good. It was so good till it wasn't. Oh.
So now what are you at now?
Now I brought the bacon from pork to turkey. We lowered that fat a little touch. I still do my Yoki coffee every morning, live or die by it. We added
Wait, what is
some
that? Your yoki?
oh, I do my 3 raw egg yolks every morning with colostrum mixed into the
Aw.
coffee.
Oh no.
I have to make you one because
Ooh.
so far, 100% of my friends that have tried it are now doing it because they're like, that's the creamiest shit I've ever had. It is like the most, you have no egg taste at all. None, zero.
What?
Yes. I do 3 raw egg yolks. I whisk them with colostrum and maple syrup and cream. And then I add my coffee and like, I'm already looking forward to it for tomorrow. I'm like, oh God, so good.
Wait, okay, what's the science behind this starting your day off with this type of drink?
It is that there are so many fat soluble
Vitamins.
vitamins, uh, vitamins in an egg yolk that women need particularly, and we also need choline for fertility, reproductive health, hormones. Choline is a big deal. Most people are very deficient in it, but that's pretty much what it is. And then it just anchors it with a little more protein.
Okay.
I'm obsessed with it. If you look into like health benefits of raw egg yolks, I look at it a few times a year and I'm still just admiring. I'm like,
When I was oh gosh, I was vegan for a moment.
oh my God, was too. One moment.
A little blip in time. It was like what 2 I was for 2 years and I was talking to this other vegan person and I think I like ordered something or we were talking about eggs or whatever and she's like, "Do you know people who eat eggs are essentially eating the periods of the
Yes.
bird?" And I'm like, "Ew. Why are we
It
talking
is their ovulation.
yeah.
It
Yeah, and
is.
I was like, "Oh my god. Oh my god." So anyways, when I think about raw eggs, I think about that conversation.
I do need to tell you, we harvested our own chickens one time on the homestead, and a friend of mine, she was just like raw dog and just like with her bare hand. I had gloves on. She was like reaching in the body cavity, no worries. From West Virginia, didn't give a damn. But she opened a chicken that had about 20 yolks of different sizes in the body, literally like it was lined up, ready to go. The smallest ones were the size of like a tiny pearl. And it was
What?
fascinating. It's just a little sidebar. So it is them ovulating. But honestly, when vegans come at me about like, that is so mean. Chickens make more eggs than they could actually care for and nurture. Like it is a mechanism of the abundance of the universe that we have them. It's just a funny little soapbox. They could not, like your average chicken we had on the homestead laid 4 to 5 eggs a week. We had heavy layers. They could not have that many chicks. Like it
Wow.
would just be insane. They would be like, well, we're done here. We're going to kill all the babies. We can't do this. You know what I mean? So it's the
So what
least
you're
I could do.
saying is that we're saving lives, is what you're saying.
What I'm saying is eating raw eggs is saving lives. Yes, that needs to be on a t-shirt. That's what we're saying. Eat an egg, save a life.
Oh, shit! Wait, I
That's
love it.
it.
You've entered our creative creative chat today. Little creative brainstorm. Okay, I love that. So Your whole thing is called the SunWhore way. So,
Yes.
for someone who is just starting to get into circadian health, obviously it's going to be a rise with the sun and make sure you're not in blue light. How do you describe the SunWhore way in your programming? Because you do have an 8-week coaching program, group coaching
Yes.
program, right?
So it gets a lot more granular, but this idea that we are seasonal, we are circadian beings and we live seasonal cycles. Like there is a reason for winter, even though most people hate it, there's a reason for summer. So when you start to live with circadian alignment, you see like your UV is going to go down, especially in like high latitude places like here, where we lose UV altogether from November to February roundabouts. During that time, people are like, well, how do you get sun during that time? Believe it or not, your body will, as it's more dark and if you're like honoring that cycle, your body is going to produce more melatonin. Melatonin behaves similar to antioxidant vitamin D in the body. So in
Wow.
the winter, when your body cannot make a lot of D, melatonin is supposed to rise if you're honoring the cycles, and that kind of stands in for vitamin D. So there are all these little ways that you begin to live, and it's this seasonal eating. And what I mean by that is wherever you live, that UV, you should try to eat fruits and veggies from that are grown in that light. Those are going to have resonant light information for your body. So if you eat a mango and you live where we live, the body actually is like, what are we doing? Like, I don't know really how to do this well.
Okay.
It's made for someone that is in higher light. Like, even down to in the summer, the kinds of fruits that are being produced are ones that are higher in things that have natural SPF. Like, these are it's just, it's remarkable when you start to see the coherence of nature and how far we've deviated from it, and it makes sense why we're sick as hell. So I work outside, like I work out outside. That's another sun way thing. I'm really big into like your grounding, which is exchanging electrons with the earth. It's lowering whole body inflammation. I'm in the sunshine. If it's too hot or the UV is too high, move to the shade. You're still getting that light information. You're just not getting direct UV on your skin. Um, but it's really tapping into intuition. And I'm going through it right now with a client, and she's only 4 weeks in, and she's already having friends say, what is this unwhore thing you're doing? Because you're different. Like your energy in a room is more powerful, it's more confident, it seems grounded. And she went into it kind of like, I don't know what'll happen. I'm gonna do this all the way. But I mean, it's a high bar to tell someone like, hey, your intuition's gonna wake up. And I know, it's a risk. You're like, I hope it does. like, like I believe in it. I hope it does. But to see it happen and to hear people, and she's sleeping better. She has more energy. She was like, I don't know how to describe it, but I feel like my waist is like melting. And I'm like, girl, stop dirty to me. That's
What?
not why I'm here. Yeah.
Great.
So, yeah, so it's going really well. And what I love too about this is that it meets you wherever you are. So it's like the sickest person in the world versus the person that thinks they're pretty healthy. They're going to each see the benefits for where they are. Like it might be you're healing an autoimmune disease. You might just want to lose 10 pounds. You might want to regulate your period. The sunshine and circadian alignment is going to meet those things and address them where they are. And so far, like every client I've worked with, every couple that is sunning their privates, 100% of them are like, this is my shit forever. Like, I'm so into this. I feel so good. My husband thought it was weird. Now he's outside with me. Like, this is the feedback I get on a weekly basis.
I mean, melting your waist, you had me there.
Yeah,
I'm
it's-
like, you are speaking dirty.
yes.
Well, question 2, so because you have to keep the body so clear, right? And essentially you're turning your body into Mother Earth, right? Like
Yes.
in a way that you're in tune with it. Obviously, we are
Yes.
Mother Earth. Um, are you also taking out caffeine, alcohol? Are you, because you have the supplement Sun Scoops as well? Is that part of the protocol as well? And then the movement piece, other than just being outside, like what else is part of the protocol that happens in this like 8-week journey? Or is it just 4 weeks
Um,
of sitting in the sun and she's like, yeah, I don't have a waist anymore. It's gone.
and that was all it was.
And
And
that's
this is
it.
what no, we build over time. We start out with just the circadian alignment piece of the sunrise and then the blue light, and then we level up to different things. We bring in movement. I'm a big fan of women moving heavy shit 2 to 4 times a week, where you're like exhausted after it. I'm a big fan of that. Big fan of walking. We talk about eating at the right times and the idea that like what you eat for lunch, if you ate that after dark, the exact same meal, that is going to do totally different things for your metabolism and hormones. So it's like the signal is completely different. At night, your body's like, don't put something in my body. It's dark. We're going into like detox mode for the night. The
Uh,
exact same food is not the same information based on what time of day it is. So we talk a lot about seasonal eating and signals. One of my huge things is a tan is actually neuro and immune protective. And I know that every dermatologist out there just quivering about it. It's like, and I don't care about that at all. I love y'all. Let's have coffee is how I feel about that. So melanin in the body, they are finding melanin deep in the brain when they are studying brains, like dark black melanin. Melanin itself it carries an electrical charge. So if you can imagine, a tan is like having a web of electricity on your body. When you
Whoa. Wait.
It's nuts. It's absolutely nuts. So when you deepen that, you're actually raising your body's potential to move information well and to keep even actual this is the craziest. If you've ever been on a flight and you get off the flight and you feel a little bit more pale. A lot of people are like, yeah, I look a little bit more jaundiced after a flight. That is because the melanin has gone deeper into your body to protect you from radiation that high up in the sky.
What?
So it's like a living energy grid on your body. So when you have melanin, it actually will go around and detox things. It will detox it's not actual garbage, but toxins in the environment, toxins you're eating, heavy metals. Melanin will help the body get rid of that. It's why people feel so good at the beach, is because the ocean is the most mineral rich thing in the world. The grounding sand of the ocean is one of the most high vibrations, and because of all the sunlight. And so when I was drinking this algae, actually, it was funny. I didn't know at first that it had any connection to melanin. I was just like, I think I need more minerals. This is what I think. This has a lot of minerals. Let's just drink it. And I was feeling really good. I'm like, okay, let's like make this taste good. So we added like raspberry and lemon. And then I did a bunch of research because I was like, I'm going to create a circadian health product. This is what I'm going to do. I want something that will help someone get tan. And I found out you need a lot of tyrosine for optimal melanin production. And Sun Scoops is super high in tyrosine from the Klamath Lake algae. So it can actually help you deepen and lengthen a tan. And I was like, okay, whether you're in it for health, whether you're in it because you just want to be tan, which is healthy, um, it's a drink for you. And everybody has their different thing. Like the darker your natural skin, the more sun you need. The lighter your skin, the less sun you naturally need. And there's a scale of that. It's called the Fitzpatrick scale. And like a black person living in a very cloudy climate is going to be higher skin cancer rate than a very fair skinned white person in a cloudy climate because they need more sun to stimulate that melanin in their body than a person that has fair skin.
I feel like my mind just blew. Like, I'm like, "What?" That's fascinating. I was gonna ask, I was like, I have such pale skin. Like, you have naturally, like, olive, beautiful, tan,
Mhm.
glowing skin,
Oh gosh,
and I have this, like, I'm so Irish.
it's beautiful.
Thank you. But, so for you, you would how many hours a day? Yeah, how many hours a day are you in the sun, and how much would you subscribe? I know there's this thingy-majig. Um,
Yeah.
how much would you just subscribe for me? Sun.
Well, at the end of the day, here's the funny thing. The skin itself, like the skin is an organ. We don't think about it like that. And it needs to be primed for full spectrum middle summer sunlight. So when people are like, oh my God, I just get so burned on vacation, most of them are in blue light all their life.
Mhm.
And then they slop on chemical cancer causing sunscreen, stand in the sun for 10 hours. And they're like, oh my God, I'm like so burned. And I'm like, of course you are. Like I start early spring and I get that morning sun, which is like red light therapy for your skin. It's priming the skin to go, we need to produce melanin. Melanin protects you from sun. So a tan protects you from the damages of sun. Like it's all very backwards. But for me, I always tell people that like crispy feeling, the tingly feeling you get in the sun, when you wear sunscreen, it kind of covers that. But if you don't wear sunscreen, when you feel that, that's enough for the day. So for me, I can be out there about an hour in UV 6 to 8 in the middle of the day and I will not burn. I went to Kauai last summer for 8 days. did not wear sunscreen, did not burn, did not peel. But I had shady times. I had my hat on. I wasn't just standing in the bleeding sun every day. I saw the sunrise every morning. And you can also heal a sunburn by seeing sunrise or sunset. Like that red light will help heal your sunburn. There's just all these very cool things, but there's a lot to it, and even like getting down the path of, oh my God, what about skin cancer? And we have such high rates. There's a whole lot more to skin cancer, and sun is not at the root of that.
Oh, let's talk about that.
Yes.
What's at the
Oh,
root of it?
okay.
Well, my
um,
all my family has skin cancer, so I'm very curious.
okay. So besides Australia, which was colonized by white folks, as we know, but like true Australian people, very dark, those people.
Yes.
Besides Australia that was colonized, the lowest rate of skin cancer is around the equator, where there's the most sun and the highest UV year round. So lowest. The highest is in cloudier places where the sun does not shine very much. So right away, you're like, that's curious. Why? That doesn't make sense. It's not what I hear. The sunscreen that majority of people use is full of cancer causing chemicals that when they see the sun, they're actually oxidizing on the surface of your skin and causing cellular mutation.
Oh my
So
god.
people are spraying themselves with something that actually is UV reactive that then is causing cellular mutation. Seed oil, canola oil, cottonseed, all of those seed oils, those actually go in your body and come to the surface and oxidize on the skin. Liver spots are usually from seed oil that has come up and then interacted with UV light on your skin. So there's
Oh
a
god.
whole lot to that. And it just is interesting that these people that live along the equator, they're not using sunscreen and their rate of skin cancer is the lowest. Also, how come melanoma is usually found in places on a person's body that they don't see the sun, like the bottom of a foot, in some kind of crack under an armpit? Like it doesn't make sense. If the sun is causing it, how's the bottom of your foot where you have melanoma?
Right.
But if I tell you the sun is bad, I can sell you billions of products. I can make you fear it, which then divorces you from intuition, which then makes you easy to control and you'll buy my shit. I'm just going to leave that there.
Wow, I just learned so much in 2 minutes. That's insane.
It really is crazy.
Whoa, because I was like, I mean, so yeah, all of my family is very pale skinned, fair skinned, and all of them have had skin cancer. And growing up, my mom was always like, put on sunscreen, put on sunscreen, put on sunscreen. It's like, right. It's like we're always in constant choice of all the decisions that we make, actually. But when it's so ingrained in your brain that you need to wear sunscreen when you're outside,
Mhm.
you, Nat, sound like the insane person not wearing any
Oh,
sunscreen.
yeah.
You're totally gonna die from skin cancer,
Yes.
right? Like, it's like that
Yes.
those 2 belief systems where it's like actually what you're saying is the absolute opposite of what we know to be true.
Yes. 100%. And even if you if you go down the rabbit trail of blue light itself, you look at the way that blue light will mutate cells. So we're staring at this screen after dark. We're already disrupting a signal, which is causing inflammation. And then the blue light itself. So sunlight has blue light, but never in an isolated spectrum. It's the full spectrum, all of the light, all of the different shades.
Mhm.
So when you have that isolated blue light, first of all, that's so alien to your body and to your cells. They're like, nowhere in nature is blue light alone except what we have done.
Right.
So that in and of itself on the skin causes mutations that can then become skin cancer.
Just like, that's so insane. I literally have never even thought about skin health other than like, "Oh, just wear sunscreen when you're outside in the sun."
Yeah. And even another little thing, because this was fascinating to me. So, your thyroid is one of the most light sensitive glands in your body. It's right there. It's very, very shallow as far as like, your liver's like in there. A lot of organs are way in there. This is right on the surface, basically. When we're looking at our phone, we are giving our thyroid a shot of blue light for hours on end. And if you look at the rate of thyroid autoimmune, through the roof with the cell phone, like right there together.
Wow.
It's just interesting. Like you start to pull these little pieces and you're like, "Oh my god." And like hospitals used to have heliotherapy was a big part of hospitals. Like this was in the last not even 100 years ago. The top floor of most hospitals had beds for them to put patients of every kind of all diseases in the sun so they could heal. It was like a prescription. That doesn't exist anymore.
What? Wait, is that what
Yep.
is that what
Heliotherapy is sun therapy. And that was like people in white coats at hospitals put that patient up there in the sun. And now we have hospitals usually have some of the highest 5G with all of the
Oh, yeah.
cell signals that are going. You're having the blue light on people who are already having a problem with their immune system, dealing with disease or whatever it is, trauma, and they don't bring them outside. It's like that. You got to ask, like, why was that such a huge part? There's a whole lot to it. And, you know I'm just
The
uh,
constructs are blowing
yeah,
my mind right now.
I know. So I'm definitely like,
Wow.
yeah. Yeah.
That's just, like, one thing I just really haven't considered. Like, yeah, like, don't like, your I know your skin's the largest organ.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to put sunscreen on, but not and then, oh, it needs to be, like, or whatever, the mineral kind, so you're
Mhm.
not amplifying the seed oils, like, sending
Right.
all the chemicals onto your skin. But never have I heard that the sun and melanin of your own body can actually protect you from the sun.
Yeah.
And that is actually where we should be like moving towards because not only does it do that, it regulates the entire system.
The entire system.
That is wild. I'm like, my honestly, my mind is blown.
Yeah.
So I'm actually really curious too about your Sun Scoops supplement. So you obviously moved from Georgia to Bend, Oregon.
Yeah.
Did you start taking the tyrosine from Klamath Lake before you moved to Oregon, or you found that in Oregon and then all of a sudden you're like, wait, this stuff is actually in Klamath, which is like right next to me?
I actually took it in Georgia, and it was called Elixir of the Lake from this fun little, like, real hippie brand, Health Force Foods, and I just didn't look where the algae was sourced, and then I moved here and I was like, "Oh my god, it's from Klamath Lake," and that algae particularly is the only place in the world that that kind of algae blooms because that lake is built around volcanoes. Like, all of the underground there was a volcanic mountain, so there's a different mineral content to it, and it glitters, like, when we're making batches in the sun, it actually glitters, but it's a detoxifier. It will detoxify heavy metals with all the shit being sprayed. It's helping your body get rid of that. It's got 62 vitamins and minerals. It's one of those some people feel an energy boost during the day. Some people say it just steadies them and calms them. It has no caffeine, but I don't recommend it after dark. But it's super helpful, and it's lovely just to have a ritual. Like, part of the SunWhore way is also just get back to living with rituals. Like, we've lost that. We've lost meaning in the way of, like, what do you wake up and do? Like, the idea of getting up and being present with your body in gratitude in the sunlight and drinking something like Sun Scoops in the sunshine. Like, we need these grounding rituals to remember who we are
Mhm.
and to remember that we belong with the earth. We are one with everything. And I'm all about, I mean, I love dramatic rituals. I live for this. I mean, this is why I'm sober, because I like dramatic things, and that's not a part of it. Um, but it was just like this lovely little, like, applause. So I've seen women, like, taking their pictures outside, and they're like, just having something to drink that I know works with sunshine has gotten me outside more, which makes me feel better. Now my kids are joining me on the porch, and it's just kind of like a little invitation to a different lifestyle.
I love that. Let's come on back to the idea of ritual and presence in your
Mm,
everyday. So it seems like you've actually it sounds like majority of everything that you do has a ritual to it.
yeah.
So walk us through your day in the life of being the sun whore.
Oh my gosh. Let's say the best day, a good, just normal Monday day. I'm going to get up with the sun. If it's a really good day, I'm going to walk to see it. I like to be dramatic and, like, walk to the horizon over there, and, like, it is that dramatic. Like, in my mind, I'm like, life is a movie and I'm in it and I'm, like, here and I'm standing there and
What?
I'm doing weird lymph flow stuff. I'm usually on a boulder down the street. If anyone knows where Volcano Pub is, they're like, I know the boulder she's talking about. And I'm over there and swinging my arms, doing lymph flow. And I use it as a moment too to, like, tell myself the loving truth. Like, today's a gift. You're alive. Like, I could cry about it. Like, wow, the sun is coming up and my body resonates with it. Spend 5 to 20 minutes, depending on the day. Walk back home. I eat my bacon mozzarella or fill in the blank. We're about to be switching that. Then I make my Yoki coffee and I usually go back outside in the sun, sitting out there for who knows, but ideally I'm sitting out there a long time. I'm an old school paper and pencil girl. Write out some dreams, write out some things I want to get done, get my life done with my kids. I homeschool one of my daughters. And then just normal chores, normal errands. But then during the middle of the day, usually around 11ish, I go outside. I have a latex like rubber mat, so it doesn't have toxins on it. Put it on the ground, so I'm getting that grounding effect. And I do a kettlebell workout with a sandbag. And I'm usually out there in cotton underwear like a real redneck.
You look so
Just
badass if you go check out her Instagram account. She's just fucking throwing sandbags over her back, and I'm like, where are we? I need this. It literally looks so grounding, actually, and badass.
it is. God, it's so grounding, and I have my sun scoop again, ritual, make my sun scoops, and I am, like, I'm doing work. I'm out there when if people knew what was in my mind, some days it is we're throwing shit away. We are. We are doing work. We're doing God's work. And I usually will eat something after that. Right now, I'm very into a salad that I do with a bunch of veggies that are, like, coming up right now, as far as in season. I love to ground that with protein. All my meals are turned on with protein, but I'm not one of those protein purists. Not even close. I think it's a little overhyped, to be honest with you. And then and I like drink water from a rock filter. Like it literally goes through rocks and little calcium balls
Oh.
after it goes through a charcoal filter. So I feel like it's like high vibe water. I do weird tinctures on certain days. I'll take your beef liver and you're taking like Shilajit and oyster and all kinds of weird shit. I always walk with a weighted vest. I did not get the memo that apparently women walk with an 8 to 12 pound vest. Mine was 35, 45 pounds. And I was like, what? I didn't know. I just got it on Amazon and I hate Amazon. I was like, well, let's just try this. And it was 45 pounds, and I was like, "This feels very heavy to me, but maybe I just need to work it out." And I took out 10 pounds and did that for a few months, and then I saw one thing on Instagram from this huge lady, and she was like, 8 to 12 pounds is about what you want, ladies." And I was like, "Oh, shit, I've been carrying a toddler. I didn't know.
3 times the amount of weight you should be. Oh my
I
god.
didn't know." So I usually will walk a couple miles with that, and then I like to have an early-ish dinner, or like 5 p.m. dinner, and I stay away from gluten because it's all sprayed to high hell with glyphosate in America. But I'm not super picky about what it is. If I wanted to lose weight, it would be more low carb. Right now, it needs to be a little more low carb. I got a couple more 15-pound goals. And then my wind down at night. Sometimes I'll do my sauna a couple days a week, especially in the winter. Red light sauna. Love to sweat. And then I like to be in bed kind of earlyish. If I can start my face routine at 8, I feel like this is a really beautiful day. If it's not, that's okay. And I brush my teeth with a boar bristle toothbrush. I mean, we're as crunchy as it gets. And lay in my cotton sheets, natural fiber, everything. Got the red light on, saying all the loving truth. And if I do watch something, which I do a couple nights a week with my husband, I'll put on my Viva Rays glasses.
Okay.
And then we call it done. And I turn off like phones on airplane mode. The Wi-Fi goes off at night. These are also things that are just like taxing on the body over time.
Wow.
And that's just a normal ass day.
Wow. I feel like I keep saying that after you talk. I'm like, I don't even know what to say.
It
That's so
was so
interesting.
boring, so boring. You're like,
No way.
"Wow, that is
No.
so boring."
No, it's like it's actually just very, like, insightful because I'm like, "Wow, I wonder how I would actually feel if I were to implement even 2 of those things every single day into my life," because I'm just, like, on the grind, going, going, going. I'm in front of the I have a computer, I have an iPhone, I have an iPad, and I'm just like it's just a lot. There's a lot going
Yeah,
on. Like, I still
yeah.
don't filter my water, like, ew, who am I? And I'm just like, "Let's do one of those things." Like, I'm, like, thinking to myself, I'm like, "What would it be like to be, like, a fly on your wall?"
You might be like, "Man, this is boring," and she has ADHD for sure. Yeah,
Well, so, like, last night, like, I was eating and it was dark time. I was, like, 7:30. I was like, "I have to eat or I'm not gonna sleep well tonight."
yeah.
And then I ate, and then I was like and then I ate in front of the TV, and so
Mhm.
I ended up overeating, and then I was like, "Oh, no, I'm full. Oh, no, I'm not gonna sleep well now because I
Ugh,
know that my body's gonna be trying to be digesting this food." So let's
yeah.
talk a little bit about, like, this, like that that whole ritual of the evening and, like, eating at the correct time, eating the right thing in the
Mhm.
evening as well is also supportive of circadian health, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, so the idea is you wanna eat when it's light. That's kind of if it was just one thing I would tell you, it would just be eat when it's light. Your body, when it's dark, is trying to do things to get rid of all of the shit in modern society it's dealt with all day. And when I started to look at like, we can be a friend to our body, looking at it like this sweet relationship of like, what do you need? Like, I know what my heart needs, but like, what does my body really need? Oh, okay. You desire to not be eating after dark. Great. Awesome. Just that one little shift, huge deal. I sleep better, my metabolism's better, and it's for me, I like to eat earlier on, but I would say 3 hours before bed, you need to cut off food. Some people are working. I mean, do I eat edibles in my bed, and eat a weird overpriced candy, like, a few times a month, maybe once a week, shouldn't do that. I might, but did I do that in the beginning? I did not.
You did not. You do seem like you eat pretty simplistically and of
I
the earth.
I do, and I do that, and I definitely like, I don't count macros, I don't count portions, none of that shit, but what I'm eating is quality. I love to get a lot of our meat at a little farmer that lives down the street. Um, I do try to eat organic because it's so sprayed, but I
Mhm.
know some people can't do that. I would say just in season, you can literally look, what is in season right now in my region? And it would be that simple, and for us, that would even be West Coast. So right now, there are watermelons being harvested in California. That's a little bit generous, but it's like, okay, we're all on the West Coast. That's kind of where I like to
Okay, so you like to
get
keep
hard.
it to the West Coast then. So even
Yeah.
the wash or anything in Oregon would be best if you're in
Yes.
the state that you're in,
Yes.
and then you're like in potentially the Washington, California.
Yes. And if we want to get a little woo woo, because I know you're woo woo
I
about energetics, girl. The idea too. So fruit, it's got light information and it has a living energy force to it. If I picked an apple in Oregon and then I put it in front of you, you are getting the vibration of that area and you're getting the light from that area that's been captured
am.
inside of a fruit, and you're getting the living energy to your body that quickly.
Wow.
As opposed to if you ate a mango from freaking South Africa, that's got to travel forever. That thing's pretty dead by the time it arrives. It's got light coding and information for that kind of tropical region, not for what you actually need. So just looking at life like this coherence and resonance, it
Mhm,
kind of makes it less intimidating and more like, oh, did that make sense?
mhm.
That makes sense. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I read this study, I think it was when I was a vegan again. But
Awesome.
essentially, it was like the study where this lady like, every time she would have for lunch a chicken salad,
Mhm.
or a salad with chicken on it, and then she's like, "And then I'd have this intense anxiety." And so this is where I started to really understand, like, our what we intake actually holds a frequency and energy as well. But so she goes to the doctor, and she's like, "I can't explain it. Like, every time I have a chicken salad or a salad with chicken on it, I have this intense anxiety." And he's like, "Why don't you just try, like, tofu?" And so she goes and does that, and she's like, "Wow, it's gone away." And he's like, "Yeah, you're taking on the anxiety of the animal when they're getting
Mm.
killed, and that's what
Yeah.
you're eating, and that's the energy that you're putting into your body." And I was like,
Yeah. Yes. The
"Like,
idea that like it
similar
really
is."
is like that. Like
Yeah.
life force is a big deal. And it true. Like I'll have friends try a piece of fruit that's in season versus out. All of them can taste. And these are people that are not necessarily into health. They're like, this tastes better. Like when it's prime fresh and the nutrients are the highest, it tastes so much better than something grown in a completely different climate that took a month to get to your door. Like it's more delicious. Like it's like I'm not just even saying health, like for pleasure. It's more delicious and a more just in alignment way to live.
Yeah. Well, and if I think about the, like, client that you have currently and all of her friends are like, "You have shifted, you feel differently, etcetera." Like, when you come into contact with Nat, like, you can feel the energy, like, vibrating off of her
Oh,
because of it's true. I'm like, "You're on something, I don't know what it is, but it's, like, good and juicy," and just, like, to your point, life force, right?
hmm,
And it's because you're treating your body with such presence of what Mother Earth is, and, like, coming
yeah,
back to, like, the alignment of our truest nature and truest form, and
yeah.
with my energy or energetics, I love teaching it through human design, but like to even teach it through the lens of nature, everything that we can actually physically see is so palpable
Yeah.
and exciting. So
Yeah.
that's a lot happening there. There's a lot
Yeah.
happening there. So, what's up for you next? What are you doing in the world? What are you promoting next?
My God. Well, I'm going to be opening up another round of the SunWhore Way over the summer
Okay.
because I have loved it to pieces. And I'm really excited to hopefully do 8 to 12 women this next go round. And that'll be an 8-week course, Cosmic Transformation. Well, it's basically everything that I learned in the last 6 years put into more easy to understand step by step. Like I was just experimenting. I was biohacking. What feels good? This feels better. This feels like shit. So I took all of that. I took all of that and then got certified as a holistic health and life coach and just condensed it down to how can people tap into this easy. And we spend time talking on the intuition and exercises on belief. That's another big thing. Like we've been taught in society to distrust our intuition. That's why we're fed all these things and told all these things. And just like, what is IG? It's just people telling you, like, you don't have what you need. Have this, have this. Like, that's what we're taught. And realizing, like, there is this innate knowing that you can tap into at any time. And then it is yours. That's what I love about it. It's like every client that I've worked with, it's met them in a different way, but the way that they needed to where it rings so true that it's like, oh, this is actually who I was made to be. Like it's going to be expressed differently in everyone, but there is not a human being that wouldn't benefit from strong circadian alignment of any age, of any wherever you are. You need it. Like you need this. It's just human. That's what I tell people. Like this is not a me thing, it's a human thing. And I really love that. And so along that, you get your free sun scoops when you do my program. And then we're starting the Northwest Crossing Farmers Market May 30th. We'll have a season-long booth selling sun scoops. A friend of mine and I have been talking this morning. Like, I want to do circadian retreats, and she and I talked about it earlier spring. And then we're like, we'll just wait.
Oh, that
That's
would be
coming.
epic.
Yeah, that's coming. It just
I'm
needs
like,
to.
yes. That sounds
It just needs to. And like a good 7 days, 5 to 7 days of living this way, eating seasonally, tapping into intuition, working out outside, getting in your body and learning like this is actually, it's actually, if you look at the average person's life, it's stressful as hell and it's not natural.
oh,
Like,
yeah.
that's what I love too. Like, this is people all the time, like, God, it seems like you do so much. I don't feel like I do so much at all. Like, it's just become so second nature that it's like, no, this is just how I flow. And I can tell now if I don't do it, how different I feel. It's like radical. So,
Oh,
I mean, I was in a line in Kauai last year. I'd stopped at a side little, just little farmer on the side of the road, bought some eggs, blessed them, hoped they were fine. And I brought Yoki eggs in a tiny little cup from the Airbnb in the line with me at the coffee shop in Kauai. Dumped that thing in there, whisked it up. My husband was like, "You're so committed." I was like, "I just feel so good. I feel so good. Like I'm doing it. I feel so good. I don't want to not feel good."
oh my God.
So
I
it's
love
that
it.
level. Yeah.
Well, yeah, because I mean, these are all the habits that are just like naturally and innate to you now. I guess
Yeah.
the last question I have for you, well, I have two questions, but what has it been like as far as with your relationships and transforming from who you used to be to who you are now and like being so, dedicated to
Mm.
circadian health? Because you've mentioned a few times now on the podcast that you're like, my husband thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah.
So how has that
um,
been navigating your relationships with this new identity?
I feel like in general, like before I started this, as sick as I had gotten, I was still like, I've always been just a very real person. So it wasn't like I went from like full of shit fake to like authentic. It was more like sick and authentic to well and authentic was more how it went. Sick as hell, much better. So it's just kind of been a natural thing. And I'm an all in girl. Like when we lived on the homestead, I planted over 1,000 natives by myself because I got into native plants. And I'm like, that's what I do. It's what I do now. So I am now. So my family is just like, of course. Like, of course, mom's now a sun whore in her 40s. This makes sense. Like, what are we doing? I text my boys, like, I'm topless on the deck for breast help. Don't come out for 30 minutes. Like, my 19 and 21-year-old actually get these kinds of texts from me on a weekly basis. So it hasn't changed that much of that, but I just have more energy. And I feel like now too, I can see my emotional health in relationships and my own intuition of how I should honor myself or disengage more clearly.
Mhm.
Because even around the time that I started this journey, like you said, like I just lost my mom, I was in the deepest season of grief of my life. I realized that with the intuition, my capacity to hold grief was larger.
Mhm.
Like what felt like it was suffocating me was just kind of then like, oh, I have like a bigger heart to hold this pain. I have like more inside to store this and to explore what grief looks like. And so I love that piece of it, that it just creates an inner spaciousness, and you begin to like hear things emerge about your purpose and about what brings you life. And that's really what I'm after. Like people are like, oh, Sunhorn, that's so fun and rebellious. And I love that part of it. I'm definitely like, burn the systems to the ground. That's me for sure. But underneath it is like, I want people to tap into purpose, and I want people to learn what it feels like in their body and their heart to live aligned.
Mhm.
And I know this is a doorway to that for anyone. So that's really what I'm after is I want you to get outside. I want you to remember who you were when you were a kid. I want you to remember what delighted you when you were little, and learn to play and learn to be full of wonder again and find your place in the rhythm of all things again. And this is a path.
I love that you just said that because I was gonna reflect that back to you. It's like it feels like this is all about, like, the empowering yourself through your body again, and your way through is through circadian health. So I love that you
Mhm.
said that way more beautifully than I was going
Yeah.
to describe that.
Uh,
So that's incredible, and I love that this is, like, this is purpose. That is what drives you is,
mhm.
like, autonomy of body and autonomy of self again, and to come back to, like, what the thing that is the most important in life, which is existing and the present
Yeah.
moment and just wonder and play, right? And we get so caught
Yeah.
down into all the other bullshit that life exists, and you get to be this bright light on the internet and in the world that reminds us of that. So thank you so much for
Yes.
being that person. The last question I'll have, if someone were to really know you, what would
Mm.
they know about you?
That I have more love in my heart to give than most people you'll ever meet. And I realize that, like, I've seen that now as a theme in my life. I just have a lot of love. I've been through a lot of pain, a lot of loss, and it's just expanded my heart. And I just like, I love him perfectly, but I love all the way. And that's why when I jumped in this, it was like, I want to see people become whole and free. Like, that is what I want. And when I believe in something, it is like, it's going to happen. I've had like a, hopelessly idealistic, but I don't even look at it like that. I've been just chronically delusional
Mhm.
since I was a little girl. Just like, what is everyone's medicine to heal the world? And we could like fucking change everything. Like I've just been that way. And I used to, I think, be ashamed of that. Like it was as a kid, the message was like, I'm too much.
Mm,
And realizing like, no, no, I'm just right.
mhm,
And if my intensity and my passion can just spark a little bit of curiosity in someone, I'm grateful forever that that happened. That part of me that loves so big that some people are like, damn girl, that's like a little much. Don't squeeze my body in the coffee shop. Like, you know what I mean? But like you would remember it. You know, you'd be like, the whore was squeezing me. And I feel like she loved me. Like I think like for real though. And just kind of learning to embrace, I just want to invite the whole world, like embrace who you are. Like
mhm.
everybody has a magic. Everyone
Oh,
has something that is uniquely theirs.
totally.
That's your medicine. And when you find it, you will heal yourself as you heal the world with it. And that reciprocity is everything to me. And people that are close to me know that's what she's about.
Mhm. Beautifully said. And I wanna bring back to, it's like, to understand who you are in the world, you have to be able to listen to yourself, and when you can heal your physical body, you become that clear vessel for everything else to unfold for you in a way that you probably never have
Yes.
imagined. So I love
100%. And I think most people start the opposite, where
Mhm.
they're like, if I can just hear what the hell I need to know,
Oh, yeah.
then everything else is
Yeah.
informed. It's like, no, no, inform the actual biology,
Mhm.
inform your cells. It's safe for intuition to emerge, and it's in there. Like it can't be destroyed. It is in there. It's like the place in you that God lives. It will all, I mean, like, I'm going to write a book at some point. I've said I was for years. If I could tell you the hundreds of stories in the last 5 years that have happened where we have just been like, you know what? We're just going to bet on ourselves. and we're gonna go all in. And it's been lots of failure too, it's not been glamorous, but to realize, like, when you do that, you learn so much. You become more confident, you become embodied, and you will never know if you don't go for it. And so living this circadian alignment will give people the balls, I guess, to like just go for it. Like you'll have the gumption to go for it and the courage that you don't even know exists inside of you.
Yeah, and I loved how you said inner spaciousness, and I think that we're
Yeah.
constantly in the world of consumption, instant gratification, and so when we are, like, packed brim with everything that is actually outside of us, how can we actually access what's inside of us? So
Yeah.
that is where the truth, and that's where source, God, truth live,
Yeah.
and that
Yeah.
when we are operating from the actual authenticity of who we are, that alignment, imagine what the world would be.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible.
And like you always talk about magnetism,
Mhm,
that's a huge part too. It's like that's magnetism. If the signal is unclear
mhm,
and your cells are vibrating at a low frequency because you are literally dealing with a low charge, you can't bring anything to you. Like the magnet's covered with shit. And when you're in that place, then the world can tell you who you are. Society can tell you who you are. You can't tell yourself who you are. But you pull that off, like people don't realize how powerful they are. And now, like, I'm there to be like, no, no, no. I believe it because I know it because I've lived it.
mhm,
And I believe it for everyone. And that is a secret that the powers that be don't want people to ever know.
mhm. 100 100%. And I think we just get so stuck in the ideas of like, well, so stuck in our head that we actually never take any action. And
Yeah.
your power actually comes from lived experience.
Yeah.
I mean, you've always had all the power, but like for you to really understand and remember your power, you had
Yes.
to take the actions to get there.
100%.
I love that. So that was like my favorite part of this conversation. This is great. So, how can people connect with you?
They can connect with me on Instagram at Nat the Sun Whore. You can buy Sun Scoops at sunwhore.co. And then I will also be having my 8-week coaching container, the Sunhor Way, Cosmic Transformation. That will be you can find it on Instagram or you can find it at sunhor.co. And definitely reach out. Let's hang out.
Mhm. Nat's the best, highly recommend. Definitely
Mm,
DM her, she'll give you some love for sure.
I
Thank
sure
you
will.
so much for being on the podcast. This
Yeah.
has been incredible.
Yeah. Thank you, friend.